Hey everybody, my name is Kyle and I'm a member of the Bernie 2020 organizing team. Welcome to the student event recruitment script training video. This will be a very brief training video on the event support or the event recruitment script. So what we'll be discussing today is how to run through the script in an effective and concise way. A quick note here, if you're watching this video and haven't yet watched the ThruTalk dialer training video, please exit out of this video and watch that video. Very, very important. So let's dive right in. This is a very complicated script, so we do want you to please pay close attention to all of the prompts in the script. So, first section of the script is a little bit of get to know you. The main objective here is to ensure that we're speaking with the correct person. The script will have a name in this section here. It will say, hey, is this so-and-so? You'll run through the script. Again, very simple introductory component of the script here. You'll let them know why we're calling. And again, objective here is to make sure you're speaking to the correct person. If you're not speaking to the correct person, they'll very likely tell you that this is a wrong number, this person has moved, they don't want to talk, they're not home, etc. So, assuming we are speaking to the correct person, we'll move to the next section of the script. This section here is a bit of a get to know you and also the very important ask. So, why are you calling? Well, here's why we're calling. The script outlines it in detail. Make sure and cover the entire script here. We want to let folks know why we're doing this and what we're asking them to do. And the very important part here is that you deliver a strong ask. We don't want a weak ask. We don't want to say, maybe do you think you might be able to host an event? Or have you, considered hosting an event? Will you consider hosting? We want to say, so can you host an event? Next, assuming that this individual can host an event. Awesome, we'll get you set up right now. Great. So the intent here is, or the first prompt is to actually open up the event creation link. In this assignment, we are actually going to be signing up the host on the sign up form. They are not going to do the signing up. We're not going to ask them to pull out their computer. We're going to ask them for their information while we're on the phone with them. So the first question here is, and this is a very, very important question, can you host an event on campus, near campus, and can you host an event that is specifically geared towards students on your campus? We need these events to be hosted by students for students. So at that point, we'll pull up the creation page. We do have an option for those who are not on campus if you run into folks who aren't. So we will now begin entering their contact information. Here's our form. Here's some test information. So we have now collected all of their information. Great. Now, before moving to the next section, you're going to want to make sure and repeat back their information to them to make sure that we get it all correct. Great. Now that you've got that filled out, the page is going to ask again for their email and also the name of their school. In this case, the student goes to TBD school. It's a great institution. Next, we're going to ask them what time they want to host their event. In this case, the student wants to host their event at noon. Great. The next section is called event information, or excuse me, event location. Here we will ask them if they have a location for their event. This is very important. Of course, you have to have a place to host your event. So some folks will have a location in mind already. It might be their dormitorium. It may be their, or their dormitory, excuse me. It may be their, maybe a common room at college. It may be an auditorium. Who knows, any number of potential options there. But in this instance, we're going to pretend that the host has an idea of where they have an idea of the perfect location. So we'll go ahead and begin entering the event details on the event creation form. We'll ask them for their venue name, address, zip code, etc. And again, when you're entering this information, please make sure and repeat it back to them. Great. The next section covers their venue's capacity. And this is a very important section for you to pay close attention to. We do want to strongly recommend that they double their event venue's size when entering it on the form. So if they think that they can hold 20 people in this venue, we're going to go ahead and put 40 with their permission, of course. This is because we know that about 50% of people who RSVP don't show up. We want to make sure that the event is full when we're doing our outreach and that we don't max out on the event form before the event is actually full. So, like I said, we'll double the event size with their permission. Great. Once the event venue information is complete, we'll need to add some event-specific information for attendees. The first question there is, do they want to change the event name, the public description? For the most part, these are fine as is. The third, though, is a field with notes to attendees. This might be a security pin that they need to get into some type of gate. This might be that, maybe the host wants folks to bring snacks or drinks, or it could be that there's maybe some parking details that they need if they're attending the event. In any case, we'll go ahead and enter that information. And before hitting submit your event, you will again want to confirm that all of the event information listed here is correct. Once we've done that, we will submit your event. I'm not going to because I don't want to submit this event, but make sure that when you're wrapping up your call, you do hit submit your event. We don't want any information missed out. So next, you'll discuss next steps. In this section here, we're going to want to let them know that they'll be getting a confirmation email. And in that email, there will be a host guide and host webinar information. You'll want to let them know that it is mandatory to attend a host webinar. And in fact, while you have them on the phone, you can register them for a webinar. It's relatively simple to do so. Again, we'll just request some basic information. When do they think they can attend a webinar? And you can go ahead and RSVP them on the spot. So if they need to, they can fill that out on their own, but prefer to do it while we're on the phone with them. Finally, the event email will contain a link to manage their event. They'll be able to change the event details there and share the event online. They'll also be receiving a call from an event support team member. If there's any questions that you can't answer, you can feel free to encourage them to email info@berniesanders.com. You should be able to answer some basic questions for them. In the Slack, there is the event support guide, which does contain some basic information about event support. Once you've answered any questions they may have, you'll get to the conclusion section of the script. You'll conclude the call and be sure that you do not hang up the phone when you're done with your call. You'll click Next Call on the ThruTalk dialer on the left side of the screen. It does not appear in this video, but it does appear in the ThruTalk dialer training video. So make sure that you don't hang up and that you move on to the next call when you're done with the last. So that wraps up our very brief training video. I appreciate you being with us. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on Slack in the call team channel. And I'm so excited to be doing this with you. So with that said, thanks so much and have a great day. Look forward to making some very successful event recruitment calls with you.